What other co-op games would you be interested in? Um, Other than Overcooked 2, I'm waiting for Gloom Haven to become a co-op multiplayer, online co-op multiplayer game. Gloom Haven, for those of you who don't know, is one of the hottest, I think is the hottest, recently released board game that came out a few months ago. It was funded by Kickstarter. It's basically D&D in a box. And it's really cool because you get to choose from 6 different characters to make your own party. And just like in D&D, like you have, it's a game that you kind of have to have dedicated players to play for several sessions, because I think the campaign itself is like 100 sessions long, something like that. And each session is probably like 2 hours to play, I would say, give or take 2 hours roughly. But it's the players, it's a co-op, so it's the players against the game. There is no DM, the game is the DM. And you level up your characters and you buy equipment, and you have personal quests on each session. Like in each session, like a personal quest might be don't pick up any loot, and if you do, you get rewarded perks for it, or kill this many monsters, or don't let any of your group like get like go down or die or like become knocked out, basically. Things like that. Like everyone has their own secret personal quest. There are like city quests and quests that you can mini quests that you can take between missions, and the map, like every time you complete a mission, it can branch out and unlock locations on the map. So you have this big map with like these stickers, and you stick them onto the map. There are cards that you there are boxes, there are sealed boxes, a lot of sealed boxes, a lot of sealed envelopes that you're not supposed to open until the game tells you to. And sealed envelopes can have things like secret items, like really rare items, or it could have completely new classes that you unlock. And you can only, again, you can only unseal those new classes when you reach specific parts of the game. So there's a lot of like, the forums have been really great about not spoiling things for people. It's really imaginative and really creative. There's an envelope I saw in the box, and all it says is, "Do not open this until you feel like you deserve it, or until you believe you deserve it." And you can interpret that as much as you want. And like everybody in my group is like wondering, what's in this envelope that says, "Don't open until you think you deserve it." So anyway, the game is really, really popular, and particularly to hardcore board gamers who can dedicate playing regularly. Like I have my coworkers and I, including Brian, the guy who let me borrow his PlayStation. The 4 of us play in a game at work every other week, and hopefully we'll be able to beat. Hopefully we'll be able to finish, because we do a session like I think we try to do 2 sessions every other week, and hopefully we'll be able to beat the campaign in a year, basically. But they're making a video game version of Gloom Haven. The unfortunate thing is, upon release, the game is supposed to be released in early 2019, and upon release, it's only a one-player game. But I'd be shocked if they didn't eventually put out an online multiplayer version of the game, because it's meant to be a multiplayer. You're meant to play the game as a party of, as a party as the board game. So look out for that one. That's another thing I would love to have a co-op LP of. I have already asked David, also known as also known as the Artifactor, formerly known as Reclusiarch, if he would play the game with me, and he said he was on board. Again, once the multiplayer actually unlocks or gets released. Oh, I just remember Delatrune. I know you're not as into Undertale, but might be a good quick LP since it's fairly short compared to Undertale. Though apparently it'll be episodic. It's free at least. I've seen Delatrune, and without even knowing anything about Delatrune, I just want to say I was very I feel maybe this isn't really all that like impressive, but as soon as I saw Delatrune, I was like, that's a anagram of Undertale, isn't it? As in, and I think anagram is the correct word. When you take the letters of Undertale and you mix them around, when you mix them around, you can spell Delatrune. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's what that is. Maybe I'm not as excited, honestly, about Delatrune, since Undertale I thought was okay. but it wasn't really like my jam personally. And there are probably other games that I'm more interested in playing priority wise. So, like for example, Kingdom Hearts 3 and Resident Evil 2. So most likely I won't get to Delatrune anytime soon, if at all. Just to be honest, just because there's so many other games I'm more interested in. I think games like Overcooked isn't exactly heavily story based, so it's not necessarily to do one first. It's not necessary to do one first. I don't know if it's online or you need to physically be there, but Cook Serve Delicious 2 has like a co-op, I think. Cook Serve Delicious 2. I don't know if your husband is into games, that maybe he can be a guest coma commenter on one of your games in the future. Colin is not, unfortunately. He's not really that big into games or video games. He'll play like Street Fighter, but I don't think that he's the kind of person who would enjoy just sitting in front of a computer and playing games and commenting on it as much. Now, if it was very, very story based, I've been wanting to get him to like sit down with me and watch me play a more story based game where I can ask him to make decisions for, like Heavy Rain, for example, and just see what happens. I would still probably control the game because he probably would be nervous if he was controlling the game. But like, ask him, okay, what would your choice be? I would like to do something like that for him, especially for a game like Heavy Rain, which isn't that long. But we'll see if he'd be interested in that. Nice having your own PS4. This gives you more games to let's play. Exactly. Taylor Tribby's notes or that series would be cool too. It's horror, but pixels are not too bad. Distraint was interesting too. Quick set up a PO box and everyone send hard games. I mean, they're digital now. I can get them digitally. Looking forwards for Resident Evil 2. Until Dawn 2 was hinted at, but in early talks, but I heard it's not using the same characters. That's fine. Like, I actually prefer Until Dawn to be a completely different set of characters, honestly. I don't think we need to bring back... I want new blood. New blood, Until Dawn 2. I don't really need a continuation of the story of Until Dawn 1. I think a completely different story with completely different cast, I would prefer that personally. I think that would be more exciting for me. Yeah, Life is Strange sequel is more interesting than the first to me. We only heard an audio clip. I'm also waiting for Life is Strange Season 2 to get more episodes. Yeah, me too. I've been waiting for a while, but they still haven't released another one yet. What do you want to see in episode 2? I would love to see a little bit more overall in the Life is Strange series. I would prefer that there was some explanation to the supernatural things that had been going on. Like, Max had this... I just felt incomplete that Max had these abilities to control time, and the game never explained it. And that always bothered me about the game, because I just feel like when you have something like that you don't really explain, it just... I don't know, it just bothers me. So I'm hoping that at some point in Life is Strange Season 2, there's some explanation to the supernatural stuff that's going on. That's really what I would like to see. And it doesn't have to happen in episode 2. I would like for it to happen at some point in Season 2. Yes, Life is Strange sequel is more interesting than the first to me. We only heard an audio clip of the preview, but seeing Daniel being trained, practicing his powers would be cool. Be kind of hard for Sean to help out with training with powers himself, though. I assume he might be an okay coach if he's on track team used to being coached himself. Yeah, I'm really interested in seeing how that will play out. If Sean, who doesn't have his own powers, is coaching Daniel and all that stuff. Murdered Soul Suspect and Alan Wake are games that you might enjoy in Steam. They are thriller mystery games down your alley. I actually, when Murdered Soul Suspect first came out, I actually started recording myself. I actually did intend on Let's Playing Murdered Soul Suspect, and I think I recorded about 2 hours of the game of Murdered Soul Suspect, and then I just, for whatever reason, I didn't enjoy it. I just wasn't getting into it. I got bored really fast. I don't know why, but I got bored like around the 30-minute mark, and I kept going for another, like I said, hour and a half. and it just didn't stick with me. So then I just stopped, and I never posted them on my channel because I never finished the Let's Play. I don't know about Alan Wake, but I've heard great things about Alan Wake, and that sounds like something that I would really enjoy. Do you have interest in playing Red Dead Redemption 2 someday? I know you have too many games on your plate first. The honest answer is no. I never really had any interest in Red Dead Redemption 1, and I don't currently have any interest in Red Dead Redemption 2. But thank you for asking. But the honest answer is no. Was surprised to hear Laura Shigihara sing in it, but a pleasant surprise because I love her voice. I heard Resident Evil 4 got remastered on PS4 if you wanted to play that game as well. Yeah, I I don't think I would enjoy Resident Evil 4. I love Leon, because that's his 4. I love Leon. Love Leon. But the problem with Resident Evil 4 is that I think you play Leon as a solo character. And I just don't enjoy when I'm playing when I'm playing a scary game. I don't like playing scary games with solely one character in it. That sounds really strange. I think part of it is because I enjoy the social aspect of, say, the Until Dawn 2, where you could play multiple characters, and the multiple characters are like moving around like a party. That's sort of like me and RPGs. I don't like RPGs where you have one character that you control as opposed to a party of characters like in Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger. You know, I prefer having a group of characters because it's more fun. I enjoy the game way more, and I think it makes the game less scary for me and therefore able for me to play. That's another reason why I like Detroit Become Human, because you play as 3 different characters. That's another reason why I love what is it called? Heavy Rain. And I didn't enjoy, I enjoyed Beyond Two Souls, but I didn't enjoy Beyond Two Souls nearly as much as I did Detroit Become Human or Heavy Rain, and I think that was a big reason for it. So games like Resident Evil 4, I wasn't really as interested to, but I love Resident Evil 2 and I loved Resident Evil 6 because of that, the number of characters and that party-based system. Even though Claire and Leon weren't in a party per se, they still interacted with each other enough, and I guess I cared about the 2 characters enough that it was able to carry me through Resident Evil 2 and just loving it. I love Leon, but I don't think I would end up enjoying Resident Evil 4. I think I would end up getting bored of it after a while. Especially since, I think I've already said my explanation on that. So, Resident Evil Relations 2 are episodic games where you need to play co-op with for Revelations. Oh, Resident Evil Revelations. Yes. That I considered co-oping that game, Resident Evil Revelations. I thought that would be a really fun game to co-op with. I just never got around to it. I think I asked Shali. Yes, I think I asked Shali to play Let's Play Revelations with me. And I think we both ended up getting like distracted, and so that never happened, but I might ask her to do it again. We'll see. Maybe you can do another movie show review together. A series of unfortunate events was cool. Was not expecting Neil Patrick Harris as that sounds like a spoiler, so I'm not gonna get into that. You should really try that. I know many people who don't play games themselves that really enjoy watching friends or family-based story games. Thank you, More Coffee. Also, I see you're finally trying out What Remains of Edith Filch. How are you enjoying that game so far? So again, the honest answer, I hate saying this before the rest of the game is released. There were a lot of elements of What Remains of Edith Filch that I There were a lot of elements of What Remains of Edith Finch that I really liked, and I thought was done very well in an artistic level. I thought the game is very artistically great in the way that it tells its story and the way that it presents each of the individual mini stories, and it's a beautiful game in that respect. But when I beat the game, and you'll probably see this in the Let's Play, I was not sure if I liked it or not. There were parts of the game that sort of left a poor taste in my mouth. And I think part of it is because I went into the game completely... Maybe the part of it is because I went into the game too blind. I think if I had known more about the game, I would have had a better experience, because I think that I left the game very confused and not really sure what to make of it, and not really sure how to... I wasn't sure how to consume it properly because I knew nothing about it. And I think that affected my enjoyment of the game, because there were parts of the game that just bothered or disturbed me. And I feel like if I had given myself more information, if I wasn't as blind to the game, I probably would have enjoyed it more. So hopefully that answers your question. But during the game, I mean, like I said, there were definitely parts of it I really appreciated. But by the end of it, I was like, I don't... That was an experience. I don't know if I liked it, but it was an experience. I think that was my feelings on it. So hopefully that answers your question. I know I feel like I'm disappointing Evan, particularly left and right, with these responses, but I respond very honestly. When you guys ask me these kind of questions, I will be very honest with you. I don't sugarcoat anything. That way, if I say I love something and I absolutely like it, something is my jam, you know that I'm telling the truth, and I'm not just like putting up a face and telling you what I think you want me to, what I think you want me to say or what you want to hear. So I will be blatantly honest. But again, I did appreciate many elements about What Remains of Edith Finch that I think a lot of people appreciate for it. I think a lot of things went over my head. And since a lot of stuff went over my head with that game, I feel like I didn't enjoy it as much as I could have. Vampire released a story mode. If you're interested in playing that, yes, I would be more interested in playing Vampire if there was a story mode, because I feel that if I was trying to play the game the way I would have wanted to play the game, I know Mikey is going to say that Vampire is an easy game. I think it can be an easy, from my understanding, it's an easy game if you play it a certain way. If you game the game a certain way, the original game is easy. But I feel like when the game was originally released, I would not be interested in gaming the game. I would be interested in playing the game the way that I would like to play, the way my playstyle, in the playstyle that I want to play. And I feel like when the game was released, my playstyle would have made that game difficult for me to get through and enjoy. So, story mode probably would be a good idea for me. I am seriously considering Vampire story mode as a Let's Play. I think the appeal of the supernatural is that there's not too much explanation, but would be interesting lore if it's like you only have powers if your ancestors did. Like, one person every decade gets powers. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to fully explain something for me to enjoy it. Like Harry Potter, for example, there's wizards in the world, there's magic in the world. I don't need an explanation as how magic got there. I don't need that. But like, just, I know what a wizard is, and that's the explanation of magic. There's wizards here, and they can cast magic, and it's just part of the lore. Or superheroes. Like, this person has superheroes because they were bitten by a radioactive spider. This person is an alien. This person is superhero because they were mutated to be a superhero. Like, they don't have to fully explain everything. But in the Life is Strange series, it just... I think there's too little explanation for me to really fully appreciate the story. I think I need a little bit more than what Life is Strange gave me in terms of an explanation, of which there really wasn't much of an explanation for me in my opinion. Okay. The as a Let's Player, has there a game that you couldn't that as a Let's Player, has there been a game that you wanted to Let's Play but ultimately scrapped because you couldn't do it or you thought it wouldn't work out? Um, because I couldn't do it or I thought it wouldn't work out. I mean, yeah, tons. Like I've already talked about Overcooked 1. Um, like from a technical standpoint, there are a lot of games that, are only that were only released for certain systems. Like I don't have an Xbox, so if it's Xbox title, I couldn't play it. Quantum Break, when it was released, was a game I really wanted to Let's Play, and at the time it was only exclusive to the Xbox and maybe PS4. But now it's released to the PC, and I was seriously considering Let's Playing Quantum Break now that it's available. Same thing with PS4. Is like most of it is because there's games that I want to play that I can't because Persona. Persona is another one. Persona is a game that I've been wanting to play, but I can't because of technical reasons. Like it's not a PC game, therefore it's very difficult for me to record a game like that if it's not made for PC. Now that I got a PS4, and PS4 allows me to record off of the console itself, so I can Let's Play it. But it's hard for me to Let's Play something of any other system. Like I can't Let's Play off of the Switch very easily. I'm assuming there's a way to record from Xbox, but I'm not an Xbox player. The games for Xbox just are not what I'm interested in compared to the PlayStation. PlayStation has more games that I'm more interested in. So I'm not an Xbox gamer by any stretch of the imagination. So yeah, a lot of it is just limitations on what platform the games are played in that keeps me from Let's Playing them. I don't think the characters got too much interaction development, but Golden Sun was a fun party RPG game. Golden Sun, I've heard of that one. And Resident Evil 6 also had Troy Baker. Yes, Resident 6 did have Troy Baker. That is true. I've only heard of the title of Edith. I don't know what it's about, but I remember some people praising it, but everyone has different tastes. From what I've seen so far, it's more of an interactive story than a game, but it can appeal to a lot of people too. No, not at all. I haven't played that game either, but I know countless people wanted you to play it for so long. It's good you're being honest. Well, thank you, Evan. Also, do you plan on watching the Detective Pikachu movie? Yes! Oh, yeah. As a Pikachu fan, yes. Detective Pikachu was also a game I really wanted to Let's Play, but I think that's exclusive to the Switch. I think it's exclusive to the Switch. I would have loved to have Let's Play Detective Pikachu, but I don't have the ability to record it right now. Don't Starve Together might be an interesting co-op. Yeah, I've heard of that one too. That's another good one that I was thinking about. Is Firewatch on your game list? It's been on my radar. I don't think it's going to be something I will play anytime soon compared to the other games. But it seemed, the premise sounded really interesting. What movies do you want to see? Well, I'm going to see Wreck-It Ralph 2 in like an hour and a half. So that's going to be a thing I'm really excited about. I did really want to see the Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald movie, but I don't want to get into that because I don't want to spoil anything for people who are watching this video and haven't seen it yet. So that was also a movie that I was very much interested in seeing. I mean, Toy Story 4, they announced. I'm looking forward to that. Incredibles 2. Incredibles was one of my favorite Pixar movies of all time. So I was like looking forward to seeing Incredibles 2, which I did see. But in terms of other movies that haven't been released yet, those are the ones. I mean, the next Avengers, the next Spider-Man movie. Those are just the ones off the top of my head of movies that I'm interested in seeing in the near future. The live action Aladdin movie. I love Aladdin. I love the animated Disney version of Aladdin. So I'm curious how they're gonna pull off the live action version of Aladdin. Oh, Mulan. Actually, I'm more interested in seeing the live action movie of Mulan than I am about Aladdin. Because I loved Mulan's the Disney version of Mulan a lot. Maybe an epilogue after episode 5 will be like 10 years time skip of Daniel and Captain Spirit becoming a duo together. That would be amazing. I hope we see Chris again. That is what I want to see in episode 2. Episode 2 of Life is Strange season 2, I want to see Chris. I want to see Chris. I feel like it was teased for us that we would see him. We didn't see him in the first one. I really want to see him in the second episode. Are there any indie games that are you wanting to play? Yes. Eldit is the one that I have been waiting for Eldit to come out for a while. Like, because I actually played the demo of it 2 years ago, and I've been waiting for its release. Eldit is a game, it's a visual novel game of LGBT characters of color, which I thought was very impressed by with the demo. You can see the demo on my channel. The other indie game that I'm absolutely looking forward to is, I think it's called Spellbound. I think. They keep changing the name, but it is from the creators of Stardew Valley. And the premise is, instead of having your own farm, you are the student of a magic school. So it's a lot like Hogwarts, like a Harry Potter Hogwarts version of Stardew Valley. That is a huge game that I am waiting for to Let's Play. So that's definitely going to be something right up my alley. Hopefully that will get released soon. So now that you have a PS4, is there any other games you're interested in playing besides Kingdom Hearts 3 and the other game you mentioned? Resident Evil 2? Not at the moment, because many other games that I want to play on the PlayStation 4 are also available for PC. So there's a great number of games, actually, that are both available on the PC and the PS4. So I can't think of any, off the top of my head, I can't think of any other PS4 exclusive games that are coming out soon that I'm right now interested in playing, you know, besides what I've said, besides Resident Evil 2 and Kingdom Hearts and Until Dawn 2. Definitely the Resident Evil, definitely the Final Fantasy VII reboot, which they announced, and I don't know if we've had any details about it since, but Final Fantasy VII reboot, definitely something I'm looking forward to playing and Let's Playing. After Council, do you want to play more games from the Big Bad Studios? I don't know. It depends on how interesting they look, and depends on what other games on my plate I may or may not be more interested in. So I don't know. One last question. What games do you want to play for your channel coming up? I am about to Let's Play Her Story. I think that's a game. Her Story is one I want to play. And besides Her Story, again, if I can't figure out a way to record Persona, although there is a Persona game in the PS4. Ooh, I could play Persona on the PS4. But I heard that's a really long game. The problem is, I heard Persona is like a 100-hour game, and I don't know if I necessarily want to start a very, very long game right this moment. But we'll see. We'll see. Apparently, Lion King and a few other Disney stuff is getting like a CGI or live-action remake. Yeah, Disney is pulling out all those live-action movies, so I'm not at all surprised. The Last Guardian you might enjoy, and PS4 Spider-Man Marvel game you might enjoy. Yeah. Everybody's playing Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man, and everybody's playing Spider-Man. It looks like a really cool game, but I'm prioritizing other games before Spider-Man. I might end up getting Spider-Man just because it just seems like fun. I mean, I love Spider-Man. I love it. Who knows? I might just buy it and just Let's Play it just because. I have to find out how long that game will take, but it sounds like a lot of fun. Okay, guys, I think that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me to the very end, especially for those of you like Paula, XOXX, Avocado, Badado, Evan, I Fall Into Fantasy, Commander Root, Competa Kiss, More Coffee, Positivity Bot, Aroma, Hannah, Slow Cool, Tade, Trevates, VK, and Virgo Pros, thank you so much for staying with me to the very end. It looks like I have some last minute questions. I'll try to answer those last minute questions. I don't know if I want to start a long game. How long is our Divinity game going hard? Well, that's my point, Hannah. That is exactly my point. Because I'm wrapping up Divinity Original Sin 2, and because of the Borderlands games, because those games have been long, I don't want to start another game that's really long right now. So that is the point. That is exactly my point, Hannah. How story heavy Owlboy is. I don't know how story heavy Owlboy is, but the platforming and pixel art looks cute, fun. Owlboy, oh, I'd have to look at that. Any other Final Fantasy games you want to let's play other than 15? I think I already said Final Fantasy 7. And as of right now, those are the only ones at the moment. Final Fantasy 7 Reboot. So, I think that's good. Thank you guys so much. And until next time, love yourselves, love each other, and happy belated Thanksgiving for those of you who celebrate Thanksgiving. Be safe this holiday season. I will live stream at least one more time before Christmas, hopefully. So I will wish you guys a happy holidays at that point. Thank you guys. Mwah. See ya.